Our next hymn of choice is one that's called Eternal Lord of Love. And it's actually one of our modern hymns that's in our hymnal 1982. And by modern, I mean it was written during this time period when the hymnal actually came out. It was written specifically by Thomas H. Kane, who was a professor of English literature at McMaster's University for over 31 years. He was the author of Common Sense About Writing, another book entitled Praise in the Fairy Queen, and numerous related articles. Kane was also a regular church organist from his boyhood. Until 1967, he joined the choir at St. James Anglican Church in Dundas. He returned to sing with what was known as the Te Deum Singers. They was the adult choir from 1972 until his health began to decline in 1997. Now, also in 1976, he joined St. John's Anglican Church in Ancaster, which he sang in the choir there for 22 years. And he enjoyed a central role in designing the actual organ in that church in 1988. Now, his hymn writing, in particular this hymn text, was written for the hymnal itself and is also included in the Roman Catholic and the Lutheran hymnals. And since 1998, hymnal in present use in the Anglican Church up in Canada. It's a very popular hymn to appear in so many books, although it's not one that we sing very often, at least in our parish in the Episcopal Church. So it's nice to take some time to explore the words and images of this hymn, which may be one like you that has you like me has you've never heard of before. Now, this particular hymn pulls in some imagery that hasn't really been touched on in the other hymns that we've been discussing, things about death and rebirth, spring approaching, and the image of God being among God's people that comes from the Exodus, where God traveled by day as a cloud or by a pillar of fire at night so that people could follow him through the wilderness to be able to arrive at the promised land. And so let's take a few moments to dwell in this new hymn. Eternal Lord of Love, behold your church walking once more the pilgrim way of Lent, led by your cloud at day, by night your fire, moved by your love and toward your presence bent. Far off, yet here, the goal of all desire. So daily dying to the way of self, so daily living in your way of love. We walk the road, Lord Jesus, that you trod, knowing ourselves baptized into your death, so we are dead and live with you in God. If dead in you, so in you we arise, you the firstborn of all the faithful dead. And as through stony ground the green shoots break, glorious in springtime, dress of leaf and flower, so in life and glory shall we wake. Wow. So here's a couple of ideas to think about today. How did these images described in this hymn fit your ideas during the Lenten season? What does it mean to die to the way of self and to live in your way of love? And how can we, both as individuals and as a community, be more like Jesus in the world around us? And so, as always, thank you for joining me today. I hope you got a lot out of this hymn like I did. And until we meet again tomorrow, please take care and God bless.